everyone, my name is Elite Trainer Kenway, and what if I told you that I could challenge almost everything you thought you knew about the Kanto Regional Pokedex? As many of us have believed over the last 25 years, there are 151 Pokemon from the Kanto region. What if I told you that the more accurate number of Kantonian Pokemon were between 102 to 120? And then anywhere from 30 to 49 Generation 1 Pokemon were actually not from Kanto. Don't believe me? Let's find out together. Spoiler warning, these are all the Pokemon you can get at the Celadon Game Corner in the first generation of Pokemon games. Take a good hard look at it because we'll be coming back to that table later. Well, we have done our research and it turns out that Kanto might actually be the worst place for you to be a Pokemon trainer if your name is not red or blue. What do we mean by that? Well, there is a shockingly high number of Pokemon that you get in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Fire Red, and Leaf Green that are not actually native to the Kanto region, and you only get those Pokemon because you are the protagonist. So let's talk about the word native. What we actually mean when we say native to the Kanto region is that this Pokemon evolved and originated in the Kanto region. For example, Mew is listed as a Kantonian Pokemon, but we know that the Mew species did not actually originate in Kanto. So we're going to divide this up into three major categories. Pokemon that we know are from Kanto, Pokemon that might be from Kanto but might be from another region, and Pokemon that are definitely not from Kanto. The first category is self-explanatory. That is going to be Pokemon that appear naturally in the wild in Kanto and would have no in-game reasons that would lead us to believe it's from another region. For example, while Magikarp can be found in every single region in all the Pokemon games, we have nothing in any of the games that suggests it is not native to the Kanto region. So for the purposes of this list, we're going to assume that it's native to Kanto. The second category is the maybe category. These are going to be Pokemon that appear only in man-made areas of Kanto and or appear native in another region. And the last category is the not native to Kanto category. These are Pokemon that we can definitively prove are not from the Kanto region. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to be honest, there are 102 of them, and I do not believe that you guys clicked on this video to watch me read a list of 102 Pokemon. So I'm just going to put them on the screen right here. These are the Pokemon that we believe are native to the Kanto region. Next up is the maybe categories. This may come as a surprise to a lot of you, but there's actually better evidence to support that Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle lines are Sinnovian Pokemon and not Kantonian Pokemon. Because the only games that the Kanto starters appear naturally in the wild are in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in the Grand Underground after you've beaten the Elite Four. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? You can get all three of the starter Pokemon naturally in those games. As we discussed in our last video 2 weeks ago, Eevee was introduced into the Kanto region prior to the events of Red, Blue, and Yellow, and over the 15-ish year time frame between the events of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow and the events of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the Eevee that were not native to that region did populate and create their own presence in the Kanto region. We know that Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur did not have nests in the wild in Kanto in the original games, so it is our belief that, like Eevee, the Kanto starters were eventually introduced into Kanto, where they were able to breed and multiply, making them widely available in the Let's Go games. So are the Kanto starters native to Sinnoh? Personally, I don't think so. Because they are not available as soon as you get to the Grand Underground in BDSP, I am more inclined to write that off as a game mechanic. Personally, I think we have not yet actually seen the region where Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander are native to. The next one in our maybe category is going to be a hot topic issue as it is the most famous Pokemon there is, and that is none other than Pikachu himself. The fact of the matter is we do not know which region Pikachu originated in, and we have plenty of evidence to suggest he is not actually from the Kanto region. First, while Pikachu can be found naturally in the Viridian Forest, its pre-evolution, Pichu, which would be a newborn Pikachu, is not found anywhere in Kanto. If Pikachu was native to the Viridian Forest in Kanto, there would be baby Pikachu, i.e. Pichu, in the Viridian Forest as well. Instead, you can find Pichu in exactly two regions, Johto and Sinnoh. The only other place you can find Pikachu in Kanto is in the Celadon Game Corner, which, as we will soon find out, practically only sells Pokemon that are not native to Kanto. Next up is Ryhorn and Rydon. Ryhorn can be found in exactly 2 places. Now we know from Generation 2 that Victory Road splits Kanto and Johto, and we also know that Johto is directly connected to Sinnoh. Why is Sinnoh important? Because we know that Ryhorn existed naturally 300 years ago in ancient Hisui. Also, it is our belief that the Safari Zone exists as a way for Kantonian trainers to catch Pokemon that are not native to Kanto. So our belief surrounding Ryhorn is that when the Safari Zone was being set up, its creators traveled from Kanto through Johto up to Sinnoh in order to get non-Kantonian Pokemon to make the Safari Zone more popular. This is why you have to pay to get into the Safari Zone. You're paying for the privilege of catching Pokemon that are not native to the Kanto region. Next up on our list is Jinx, who I personally believe, thanks to Smoochum, is from the Johto region. However, we do have a small tidbit of proof that suggests Jinx might be from Kanto. In the American releases of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Jinx is only available via trade, which would make sense if Jinx is not native to Kanto. However, in the Japanese version of Pokemon Blue, Jinx can be found in the wild. That is why Jinx is in the maybe category. And next on our list in the maybe category is Electabuzz, because Electabuzz can only be found in one place in the Kanto region, and that is in the man-made power plant. Electabuzz is not found naturally anywhere else in Kanto, so it is our belief that Electabuzz was brought over from either Johto or Sinnoh to be used as sort of a backup generator for the power plant. The reason we say Johto, of course, is because of Elekid, and the reason we say Sinnoh is because Elekid, Electabuzz, and Electivire can all be found naturally in ancient Hisui. And last on our maybe list is the legendary trio Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. And the reason for this is, of course, the Crown Tundra Sword and Shield DLC. Thanks to the 3 Galarian birds, we do not know if these Pokemon are native to Kanto or Galar. So for now, they have to sit in the maybe category. And that brings us to our final category, the Pokemon who we know for a fact are not native to the Kanto region. First up is Kangaskhan, who cannot be found anywhere in Kanto outside of the Safari Zone, but can be found naturally in Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar. Then we have Clefairy and Clefable, who are said to be from space, as well as Magnemite and Magneton, who are also said to be from space. Next up is Voltorb and Electrode, which also can only be found in the power plant, which we know from Pokemon Legends Arceus originated in the Hisui region. Next we have Execute and Executor, who we know thanks to the Pokedex entry in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is from the tropical region, which we later found out to be Alola. Next, let's talk about Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan cannot be found anywhere naturally in the Kanto region. However, their pre-evolution Tyrogue is not native to Johto either. There are 3 regions in which Tyrogue does exist naturally, and that is Sinnoh, Unova, and Galar. However, thanks to Pokemon Legends Arceus, we know that Tyrogue, and by extension Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Hitmontop, are not from the Hisui region and therefore are not from the Sinnoh region. Meaning that Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are either Unovian or Galarian Pokemon brought over to the Kanto region specifically for the gym. Next up we have Scyther, who also can only be found in the Safari Zone in Kanto. Scyther can naturally be found in Sinnoh, Kalos, Alola, and Galar. However, we do not know which of those 4 regions is Scyther's native home. Magmar can only be found in the man-made Pokemon Mansion. Just like its rival Electabuzz, Magmar's entire family can be found in ancient Hisui. However, unlike Electabuzz, Magmar's pre-evolution Magby cannot be found in Johto, meaning that until further proof is given, Magmar is definitively from the Sinnoh region. Next up we have Pincer, who can only be found in the Safari Zone and the Game Corner. Pincer can be found in Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar. However, since Pincer cannot be found in the wild and ancient Hisui, we know for a fact that Pincer did not originate in the Sinnoh region. Next up is Tauros, who can also only be found in the Safari Zone. Tauros can be found in the wild in Johto, Sinnoh, Alola, Kalos, and Galar. However, just like Pincer, it cannot be found in ancient Hisui, meaning it is not a Sinnovian Pokemon. While we can't pin down exactly which region Tauros is from, evidence suggests it might actually be native to the Alola region, as the Alola region is the only region we have seen to date that has a climate that does not make Tauros rampage. Next up on our list is Lapras. Lapras does not exist in the wild in Kanto. However, it does exist in the wild in Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar. Given that Lapras itself was based on the Loch Ness Monster, it is fair to assume that Lapras is from the Pokemon world equivalent of Scotland. Next up we have is Eevee, which we know from 2 weeks ago is not native to the Kanto region. Eevee is either native to ancient Hisui, Kalos, Alola, or Galar. Next up we have is Snorlax. There are exactly 2 Snorlaxes in the Kanto region. However, its pre-evolution Munchlax is all over not only the Sinnoh region, but the Hisui region, leading me to believe that Snorlax is absolutely 100% a Sinnovian Pokemon, and that the 2 Snorlax we meet in Kanto simply were caught by trainers in Sinnoh and released somewhere in the Kanto region when those trainers realized they could not afford to keep feeding that Pokemon after it evolved. Next up, this is going to come as a big surprise, but Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite are not from the Kanto region. We know this for a fact, and we can prove it, as Dratini can only be found in 2 places in the Kanto region. That is in the Game Corner and once again in the Safari Zone. Dratini can, however, be natively found in Johto, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos. However, once again, because of Pokemon Legends Arceus, we know that Dratini is not a Sinnovian Pokemon. And the last on our list is Mew, which most of us have known for 25 plus years now, is from somewhere in Central America. That is it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video and think we should do this exact same type of video for the other 7 regions, leave a comment down below and we will absolutely get started on the Johto region if we feel like there is a hunger for that type of video. The Pokemon world has many mysteries and we are just barely scratching the surface. I hope you guys have a fantastic week next week and I will see you in 2 weeks. Peace.